All right, so I just got a shipment, finally. Been waiting months for these Naish kite foil here, and these are all thrust surf foils. So we're gonna go and test these out today and get it set up on the Naish 95 hoverboard. And it is, specs are 7 by 27.5, and of course 95 liters. I've ridden it once with a different brand foil, and I like the board. I think it's going to be a great foil board, super lightweight, and we're going to compare it back to back with the other board that I have that I've been riding quite often. So here I have the Hypernut 610. This is the full carbon board, and this is pretty similar to this hover. We're going to weigh it and see what the differences are in weight real quick. We do have a foot strap on this, and I don't want to take it off, so we can probably tear it with another foot strap. It's 610 versus 7.0, and it's 26.5 wide versus 27.5 on the Naish hover. And the thickness here is 3.8 versus 4.5. So you are going to get a little bit more volume. 4 liters extra is where it comes in. So you could probably get a slightly heavier rider. So I'm 160, around that range, and both these boards float me just fine. I've got a friend that's 165, 170, and he's probably going to more than likely get on this hover. I think any advanced rider up to 175, 180, if you're really advanced, you could ride either of these boards. The foil is going to help you be stable, but comfortably, they suggest around the 160 range. And you can get a little bit more pumping action with the foil because you've got less board swing weight, and you're just going to have a better ride if you're within the right range of these. Okay, so let's weigh this Hover 95 here. And we got the scale set here at 0, and there we go, we're at 16.6 pounds, this guy here. And we're going to swap it out, compare it to that Hypernut 610. And we are going to zero it out because we don't want to weigh that foot strap. 0.4 pounds, zeroed. Okay, so yeah, we're getting 13.4 pounds, so 3.2 pounds difference. So this is definitely a lighter board. It's the full carbon construction, which is going to set you back an extra grand if you want to drop those 3 pounds. So the Hover 95 is a pretty nice looking board. I definitely like the less yellow on this 2018 version than previous boards, but it's got a nice little gradient here. Looks pretty cool. Pad is nice. Right off the bat, you will notice that there is a section right here, which kind of helps you put your back foot. It doesn't have any grip though, so let me bring that camera in closer just so you can see the difference here. Alright, so as you can see right here, we've got some texture, and this part is pretty smooth. So depending on you and your abilities, you may not like this little smooth section here. You can always spray a little grip on there, but I was riding it and I didn't really have any problems. I wasn't like sliding around or anything. But that's just one of the quirks that I did notice about this board versus last year models and stuff like that. All right, so the nice thing about these boards is it does have this track system that you can see here that kind of lets you fine tune your foil placement, your style of riding, and it also gives you the flexibility to use other brands with this board because other brands are making foils that use this plate system, and you're not limited to the location of the foil like the Tuttle. The Tuttle, you're just kind of locked in, and that's where it goes. So if you're using other brands, sometimes their mast and their wing is going to be a little bit different in terms of distance from the mast. So that's going to affect how the balancing point on the board. So with having a track system that allows you to kind of fine tune that. And for beginning riders, you put this foil all the way to the back. It's not going to lift off right away because you're going to be standing here. You're going to be putting a little bit more weight keeping the nose down. So that might be a good place for beginners to move it all the way to the back, so they're not just like shooting up out of the water right away. So you actually have to kind of lean back a little bit to steer that foil up. And then you start bringing it more to the front. That'll give you a little bit higher lift off, but then you also have to, weigh in the fact that you're going to be, maybe using a lot of front pressure just to keep that board down. You may be standing all the way up here on the nose. So it really depends on your abilities and the foil shape, and also, just kind of the wave you're riding as well, because you're going to get more speed on bigger waves and you're going to need more front pressure on that as well. So you may want to move the foil back. So different things you just got to play with and, figure it out on your own and see what works for you. And you can kind of use these tips to help guide you in that direction. All right, so let's just slice into it and see what we got. Now, Mike D from Naish said he threw some promo items in here, which is perfect. Naish trucker hat. Definitely need one of these for the water, just because my green flash hat is seen better days. I've already done an unboxing of this, so I'm going to be real quick. We've got a foil. Last time I did the unboxing, I was actually going to take that out, but unfortunately it was the only one we had and someone else, bought it. So I was like, well, let's just sell it and get this other guy on the water. And so then I've just been riding the Go foil, which I've been really, really happy with. So here's our user manual. Definitely kind of flip through this, put it together properly. One of the main things that you do want to know is, we've got stainless steel screws that are going into aluminum, and that is going to create some sort of corrosion if you're not taking care of stuff. If you're not taking it apart, rinsing it out, you could get stuck with a foil that's stuck to the mast. And I've done that before just because I just let it sit for like 6 months in the kite van and come back 6 months later and it's stuck. Can't get it out. Tried an impactor, tried a bunch of degreasers, and I could get one screw out and that was about it. The nice thing with the Go foil is there's no aluminum on there. It's just stainless on stainless, and there's 2 screws and that's it. 1, 2. There's a little salt water on here. I'm not going to worry about it because it's going to come out right away. I will show you. So I think this has been sitting like this for a month without getting properly taken apart. I'm just going to give it one turn, and there you go. It's coming out super easy. If it seizes, aluminum and stainless seizes, it's going to be in there almost permanently. So really just make sure you lube it up and take it apart, rinse it. So inside we already got the cover out. We've got this wing. This is the large wing that we got. It's pretty nice looking. Let's get in a little closer so we can check this stuff out. So I'm going to cut into the kite box and grab the kite wing real quick. And I'm just going to do that on a separate review as far as unboxing it and riding it. But I do want to just quickly compare wing sizes so you can actually see it, right next to each other and not just like some graphic image online. All right, so this is definitely noticeably smaller. High aspect, smaller wing, and this is a 3.38 versus this aspect ratio is 3.54. And the wingspan, surface area here is 880. And this guy is 1236. So let's compare them just so you can kind of see. This almost looks like the rear wing of the Maliko. But this is the front kite wing, and this is the front large surf wing. So surf, kite. I may try kiting with one of these in super light winds, but in actuality, this is plenty to get you going in light wind. I kind of like how this is just kind of flat. You can kind of compare these two as well. So we'll go back to this guy. We're going to test it out, fly it. Let's compare this kite wing versus that Maliko. So back to the Maliko. Look at this thing. This thing's huge. And then we compare this, much smaller. And as far as the wingspan goes, let's look at this rear wing and compare the two. They're roughly the same. So, I mean, there's definitely more surface area on this, but the wingspan on this rear wing, as you can see, comparing the Maliko versus, so for 2018 they changed this Maliko to the Eva. So it's now called the Eva. Okay. So there is a little bit less surface area here. As you can see, there's the wingspan of the Maliko and these guys here. So they're definitely different shape. There's definitely a more downturn right here, this little, on this winglet, reverse winglet looks like. That's going to add some more stability. So it'd be kind of interesting to see how these actually play back to back as far as stability, carving ability, and just getting up on foil sooner. My money's on the Maliko as far as getting up on foil, but you know, this is pretty sleek. I do like these winglets. I think that, you know, you're going to be able to turn a little bit better on this and get some of those bottom turns in and generate some more energy. You know, this guy, it will, when you do start doing an aggressive turn, some of the foil does come out of the water. So you got to watch out for that. So it's going to be fun. Go test these out.